got a problem with the engine. Yeah, well, sorry about your luck. You're the one who built it.
That's right.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you here, and you know how excited I am representing this Corvette all across the country. Let's face it, every Corvette has got a story to tell. Having the opportunity to share that with you guys right here on the channel is really, truly a thrill for me, and that's why Don is here. No pressure. But just, you know, Don and I have been talking about buying a Corvette. He's been talking about buying a Corvette for many, many years. It's been a lifelong dream. Many of you can relate to that. And for me, it was really, really proud to be a part of this purchase. And then I said, hey, now that we're finally to the point that you have the car, I'm doing this YouTube channel thing, and you've had just a wonderful experience, and I'd love the opportunity to share it. And Don said, man, I'm all about it. So he did, now listen to this, guys. He did the very last engine build. That's the one that you pay $5,000 for. So you pay $5 grand, you build your own engine. He did the very last one that was available for 2019 Corvettes. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. So he brings me in the CD that he hadn't even seen yet. He goes, yeah, I got some pictures. I'll bring us. Oh yeah, bring those down. That'd be great for the video. I got news for you.
Been a bit busy.
I'm not going to be showing everybody all the pictures. 557 pictures. They're amazing. But sorry, I'm going to only show you a few of them. But it's great to capture that, and what a memory. And we were talking a little bit off camera, but you said, and I love it, that's the passion for Corvette that I have, that you guys have, people watching right now that one day will have a Corvette, that they understand. And you said that this car, you built it, this was your lifelong dream of a car. And I was just touched by that.
Yeah, well, to me, it's all about the passion and performance, and there's a long track on this. I mean, this was like when I had my Z28s and I was racing those, and I had a '69 Copa Camaro, and I was just sit at night, and I'd read everything about the Copas, about the Yinkos and all that, and then I'd actually go down in the basement of the dealership and I'd sit in my Copa like for 2 weeks. I go, oh God, well, am I going to give up my Z? Well, anyway, I kept the Z and the Copa.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And so anyway, as I was going through this thing, and then it lasted about 2 weeks, and I pulled the engine out of the Copa, and I started to build it and study it.
Yeah.
And of course, I've been an artist most of my life. So when I broke this thing out, I was working with Jim Thompson over at the Rod Shop, a very famous guy, just a really cool guy. And here's this, 17-year-old kid, and I was just buying parts and stuff like crazy. But then I said, hey Jim, I'm pretty good with everything, but would you mind putting the short block together? Because here's this kid, and I go, oh shit, I'm gonna mess up my engine. Well, I spent forever just match porting it and all that stuff. And then he says, Don, my God, you prepped this thing as good as anybody that we've done. And so we established this great friendship. Yeah. Here's the thing about the Corvette.
You had a knack for it. You just had a natural knack for it. There's no doubt about it.
Well, there was a connection. And let me tell you why the connection is so real. I have a screenplay that I've been working on for quite some time. It's called Viscosity, if you guys ever see it. It's about a connection with a car and a machine that is deeper than just driving down the road, okay? That the Viscosity is really all about being able to connect with the car. It was the times like I did with my paintings. I've been a painter for, I painted in New York. I was a set designer, production designer in Hollywood for a long time.
Oh, wow.
The whole idea here was, looking at the car, and I would look at each component, and I would just sit there, and I'd say, well, how can I make it better? How can I make it cooler? By cooler, what I mean is the aesthetics of the function of the design.
Yes.
And so that I was working on the Copa, and so the whole, it's an autobiographical, with a license for creative. I co-wrote it with a wonderful friend of mine, Tom Bauman, who won Best Writer at the New York Film Festival not too long ago. So it was a very interesting project for both of us. That's what this Z06, that's what this is all about to me. When we built this engine, the team at Corvette was incredible. From Lori and Shane, when they knew that I built some engines and I had a little background, they lined me up. Lori said, look, we lined you up with our best guy. I think your personality is going to really hit it off. It didn't take long. I mean, we started talking shop, and Then he turned around to me because I wasn't sure what the engine experience was, and he says,
Right.
"Guess what?
You just knew you wanted to do it because of your background and just your
I
love for
want
engineering.
to dial it on the engineering because you know, Rick, you know I'm dealing with some pretty complicated patents right now. So
Yes,
I
I
mean,
do.
it's a situation. Yeah, you can't know anything about it. So
I do, but you don't.
So, you know, to me, that's that carry forward. That's that passion.
Yeah.
And so he turned around to me and he says, "Well, guess what, man? You're going to build this whole thing." And I go, "Is that part of the program?" And he says, "I'm not touching a bolt," you know. So, and I go, "Holy shit!" And I had my 17-year-old son tell me about an experience for a 17-year-old kid that's never seen an engine build before.
Wow.
His eyes were like, "Oh my god!"
That's amazing.
Because I'm building a Z06 with my dad, you know.
That's cool.
And so the passion. They lined up all the right. I mean, you know, from the team leader and the performance team to they had the team and leader on the engineering side of it. You know, the team, the way it was organized, the way it was set up, was an appreciation for this is a very special event. Okay, and when we put this engine together, it's like when I'm working with my patents or when I was working with you know my art. It was the idea of looking at the rods and looking at the function design of it, looking how cool the pistons were designed, holding it, being able to look at it close. And then, you know, with the top engine builder, then he says, "Okay, let me see it." And he looks at it, and there was a little teeny mark on one of the pistons. He goes, "All right, we're not putting that one in."
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was really great. So everything had to go through an inspection.
Okay.
Every time we went through something, we, you know, once we had the once we had the mains torqued down, then basically, you know, we had to check the resistance and all the technology of that engine build was incredible. Each step was a proof of everything was the way it was designed. And the most awesome part of it was when it was all put together and we rolled the baby out and we balanced it because you can't balance an automatic. But here, you know, sitting there balancing this baby, and that was a really cool experience. But the part that was amazing was on the cold run.
Yes.
You know, on the 2,000 RPM, you know, juice it with oil, but doesn't fire up. Well, they had their top engineer in there, and then the team leader says, "Look, you know, we usually don't do this, but we told them to show you all the technology. We wanted you to see everything that's on here." So there was all the screens of all the readouts, which I get because I do some pretty complicated stuff.
Yeah, so you understood that
And
stuff.
so after we took a look at the individual cylinder performance, then I said, "Can I see a cumulative? Do you have a way to be able to look at it?" "Oh, of course we do." So all of a sudden he goes, "Oh my God, look at this!" And so here's these lines all coming together, and they come together in one line. He goes, "This is extremely rare. Each one of your cylinders is performing almost exactly the same. I mean, right on the line."
Oh, wow.
And then he made a comment. He said, "Don, this is one of the best engines we've tested." And to me, I'm sitting there going, "Well, that's pretty amazing." You know?
That's pretty good. You got to feel pretty good. Just a little pound on your chest.
No,
Like, yeah.
it wasn't.
But you got to
It
feel
was
good.
the team thing.
He's like, "Yeah, this is my engine."
Here's a, yeah, this, right. See,
Yes.
there's a connection.
Yes.
So the part that's cool is this is a connection of machine and man. It's like in the old
Talking
days,
about
you know, the knights on his horse.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a connection.
Yeah.
And so you feel it. It's part of your soul. So when we put this thing together, then of course we did the fire up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
The whole team was there. The plant lead guys, I mean, there was probably 8 people. They're all in their lead positions. They're coming around, and we fired the baby up, and oh my God, it sounded so sweet. It was just an incredible experience. And then that carried forward to, okay, you know, I originally was going to, remember I said, "Rick, I want you to, you know, when this baby comes in, it's yours,
Right.
you prep it for me," and all
Correct.
that.
Yeah, like midstream in the order, which, you know, and I got to thank the people at the plant and at the museum for their flexibility. And you had a situation where you weren't able to meet the original timeline for when I released the
Well,
order.
I had spine surgery, and these people, they were so nice.
It was
because
unbelievable.
I was trying to, okay, am I going to be strong enough to stand up for, you know, 12, 13 hours to do this engine?
Right.
Well, it's pretty amazing. My spine surgery was quite serious. I saved a fellow when he was falling, and so it's all kind of a
He's still
good
wearing a
thing.
brace right now, in fact. But, you know, he basically went in. Yes, we know it's the last documented 19 consumer engine build. But he was in the plant when the plant, number one, was already shut down to public tours.
Right.
But also, too, the engine build process was already shut down. So they still allowed that to go forward and really made provisions to accommodate you. And, I mean,
3 times.
you want to talk about a story. I mean, oh my gosh.
3 times.
And I'm glad that they did, because this is wonderful, and this is this is something that I know that you'll appreciate forever, because
forever,
you
yeah.
really wanted to do that.
Right.
And you can appreciate seeing it all kind of come together and being a part of making it come together.
Well, it was a total. It was a collection of why people build Corvettes. Okay, the neat thing was to see the passion and the professionalism of the team there, the team performance. So then I went into Shane and Lori. We were talking, and I said, well, I'm thinking maybe just do a museum,
right,
pickup. And so and then they talked to Rick, and Rick approved it.
Sure.
And so that was the other part of the experience, because I met with it was John, and it was about 4 or 5 hours, and it was the most incredible connect, because he's very passionate about the Corvette.
That's awesome.
And he really took the time. We talked about the philosophy, to me, what this means.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really connected with him.
That's
and
cool.
I think it just raised his passion to
Good.
when we were going through everything. And he's showing me all this stuff, And he goes, and this one, just, my God, you don't want to use this, but if everything happens, you just pull down here and that's like if your door's jammed.
Oh, yeah.
But we went through all of it, and every part of it was, like, oh, here, you don't want to touch this part of the trunk lid. Over here's a little handle, and you just come it down. You don't touch it. You use a microcloth to touch it. Then I go,
right.
This man's on with me.
Yeah.
That's the way I take that. Yeah. To me, this is really special. Okay, and so then there was the launch that I didn't expect. I mean, there's thing that they didn't tell me about. He goes, well, why don't you sit in here and we'll just take it out. But Rick and I just saw the video. We did
when you pulled out of the museum?
Yeah, they had.
When you get done, don't you just feel like you just won a NASCAR race or a Super Bowl or something? I mean, you just feel like a rock star leaving the boulevard in the National Corvette Museum.
Well, it was a cool part of the timing too, because see, we were dodging storms.
Oh. So
I left. I pulled out of my reservation, and it was really scary because it's a pretty serious storm. And this, of course, has this has the tires with no tread. So
Z07.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Z07.
Everything that he didn't want to drive in,
right,
he drove in.
Right. And so we're sitting there, and went through huge amount of detail on the philosophy of break-in, And so I have my own theories on break-in, which is really cool because it worked out.
What is your theory of
break-in? Well, here it is.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Because I talked to the race guys.
Because I talked to the guys, and so I said,
okay,
this is the way I broke in my race cars. So I would keep all the revs down, keep the load off of it for the first 200 or 300 miles, and then about mile 400 or so, I'd put it into third gear, fourth gear, but I would give it some juice to be able to get the rings to compress, to put some pressure inside the engine without high revs.
Right.
So I would keep putting more pressure into it, but not high revs, and I keep out of the high revs until at least like 700 miles or so.
So what I tell, now see if this, now this is where I'm going to get a gut check and make sure I'm telling you guys right for years, because this is a guy that really is beyond just a Corvette owner now, that has some in-depth knowledge.
Well,
on
I
engines.
raced too.
And he raced.
I mean, to me, that was another part of viscosity. I should really tell you guys about it, because it was.
Well, let me ask you this real quick first.
Yeah.
When I tell my customers at delivery for break-in, and this is, I try to use simplicity.
Yeah.
And I tell you guys, don't beat it, but don't baby it.
Right.
Especially for the folks that have manual transmissions, I think that's probably the easiest one to break in. No cruise control for at least the 350 is what I tell them. And you get out of the freeway, and if you're doing 50, 60 miles an hour, it's great. Yeah, drop it into third, drop it into fourth, and move that around a little bit.
Well,
stay out of the red line is what I tell them.
Absolutely.
Am I doing all right on that? Is that good?
Absolutely. No, you don't want to do that. But you change engine speeds.
Yes.
So what I did was I got on a scenic road. So what I'm trying to do is and I was trying to go through small towns, be able to go through all the shifts and get it up 3,200 and bring it down this.
Sure. Exactly.
You just keep changing engine speeds all the time. Even on the freeway, just like you said, I'd drop down to 45 miles an hour. I'd drop it down to 6th, 5th, 4th, get the freeway. I didn't care.
Here, we're gonna make this a longer vlog because Ricky's gonna throw in a story too. So there's some truth to that. Go back into the C5 era. I had a client that used to trade their vehicles all the time, and would always trade from 3,000 to 5,000 miles. And I know that particular client would never drive. Oh my gosh, I bet that they never got the car over 100 miles an hour. So it just so happens they were trading a car to another past client that he had to sell his car for personal reasons. But he got back into the game and says, I want to buy a car. I can't really afford a new one, but I want a used one. And lo and behold, I had the used one from these people that he could buy. It was virtually the same car he had, same year and everything, okay? So he's driving for a couple of days and he calls me and he goes, man, he goes, Rick, this is the same car, same year, 3,500 miles. He goes, this car just doesn't feel like it's got any oomph. He goes, so what's going on?
Oh my God! Well,
and that guy that had it prior, I know, I don't know how I want to coin a phrase, but I just drove it very slow, very cautiously, very conservatively, and I think in the long term, that showed the after effect of the lack of performance.
Let me pick up on that.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's phase 2.
Okay.
Phase 2, after that delicate break-in, is then you drive it as your personality. Right. So what I do is I put more gas in and a little womp womp,
Right.
And so it's not like you're flipping down the road at 150. It's just the idea that what you're doing is you're making the engine work, okay?
Right.
And then you're hitting all your gears and heel tone or whatever. You're connecting with your personality, and you're right. You cannot baby it, or it's going to be sluggish.
Yeah, because if that's all the way you drive it,
right,
you could have punched it. It's just not going to feel like anything.
Exactly.
And I remember the guy
Exactly.
from Port Clinton, I think he was from, and he called. He said, "This doesn't feel like the same car."
Well, my Z28, when I broke it in like that, the only thing I did was CC the heads, milled them 30,000s, put some headers on it, and I turned 1271. That's a little Z28. They're not supposed to do that,
All right, now let me ask you this. Ricky's always good for a little smart aleck comment or a curveball. Knowing that you built the engine, in the future, if we have any problems in the engine, do we go back to General Motors for warranty, or we just call you? This is what
I call the buddy that I built that engine with, and I invite him up for a steak dinner. And hey, man, you got to cover my ass.
Now we got a problem. We got a problem with the engine. Yeah, well, sorry about your luck. You're the one who built it.
That's right. You know what?
That's not funny, but
no. Here's the thing. You know what? They covered their butt because they did something I didn't think about.
What's that?
Guess who signed off on each step?
What's that?
They're supposed to sign off on each step.
Okay.
Guess what? He made me initial every damn step.
So who's doing the CYA?
Exactly. So I signed off on all the steps. Oh shit!
You're an owner.
Exactly.
She breaks in two pieces. You own them both.
It looks like I'm going to be building another one pretty soon.
He didn't know. See, he did not know I was going to ask that, and I've been waiting for him to come here to just ask him that. I wanted Chuck to be here too, our Corvette tech, because I told him I was going to ask that, and Chuck just started laughing. He goes, "Oh my God!" He goes, "That's hilarious." Chuck, incidentally, was off today, but I thought you'd get a kick out of that. So this is not going to. We don't have any warranty issues.
I know exactly.
Because that won't be funny. Okay. But I mean, isn't this cool, guys? The intricacy of the experience that Don is sharing with us on this Corvette. Now, many of you are watching this right now going, "Wow, man, I wish I would have done the engine build." Well, currently right now it's not available. We're hoping going forward the plant will open to public tours in January, but right now there's no word if they're going to reenact the engine build program. Now, with that big performance build center within the assembly plant, I would anticipate that they're going to do that again. I think it's a great program. The program's actually higher in counts this year, partly because of ZR1. You built a Z06 motor, but it's just neat to see that extra step in the Corvette experience, and not everybody gets to experience that. And your name is on the engine.
I know.
Don
They surprised me on that.
Oh, you didn't know? You didn't know that?
No, I was all dialed in on just building the engine, and the quality control girl who was really sharp. I mean, she came through 6-7 times when we had to reboot the computer, reset a setting or whatever. I mean, she really was on her game. So she snuck up behind me, and then the guy I was building the engine with, I can't remember his name, but he said, "Okay, take your gloves off," and I'm sitting there going, "What the? Take my gloves off? Yeah. What? Do we have a problem here?" And so he said, "Close your eyes," and they gave me this thing. He goes, "No, this one nobody can touch. You got to, And there it was. It was engine built by Donnie Martin. So
yeah,
it was kind of cool.
Neat. I like your shirt too.
Oh, thanks, man.
Engine build experience.
That's right.
Yeah, buddy. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, not many people have that. That's real special. And I know one of our past clients that's probably watching right now is Tom down in Texas. He did what you did on a C7R edition back in 2016, and I saw his pictures that he shared on Facebook, and and not knowing that there was 557 to look at. Oh my gosh!
Well, yeah, that's
amazing.
what I mean
It's
about
amazing.
the team. The guy that was my guide photographer, we hit it off great because, I mean, anyway, I've been a photographer for a while, so we were just talking shop again, and he was such a cool guy because, you know, we'd sit there and he'd be shooting us, and I'd say, well, "Why don't you do this one over the shoulder here? Check 3/4 and pull this one in," you know. So just a little. And so we just. So he shot more than what he probably usually did. They said he usually shoot.
You got to fire it up.
350
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me get this ahead.
I
Get this
know.
angle. Yeah,
But he did
and he'll do
great.
that in the future now too. You watch.
I know.
What he's doing other guys, he'll probably shoot them the same way because he got ideas for you.
It was a great,
Nothing wrong with that.
It
though.
was a great lockhead. It was really good. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. I'm excited for you. And you and I have been talking for years about this car, and you know, there's got to be the right time in your guys' lives to make this happen. That you know, not just financially, just so you can enjoy the darn thing. And you're really busy. I mean, you're still busy.
You're crazy busy.
You've been trying for 2 weeks just to get him in here. So it's like when he texted me, I was like, "Oh man, please don't cancel." I was so excited to share this with you guys, and I reminded. How many times I remind you? Don't forget the
I
CD.
know.
Bring the CD and the pictures. I want to share that. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Well, one of the things I told my kid, you know, the one that David that built the engine.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, there's one real nice part of that.
What's
so
that?
I'm sitting here building it, and the guy, he put a part in my hand, and he took it out of my hand, and I go, "What are you doing?" And he hands it to my son, and he says, "I want you to put this on." And it's just a very thoughtful thing. Can you imagine that as a memory for a 17-year-old
to involve him.
to sit here, involve him, put a part on a Z06 engine?
Absolutely.
And then when we were going, he goes, "I can't believe it, Dad. I actually put a part on the Z06 engine."
And he'll tell that story forever.
It's a real big deal.
Yeah.
And that's because of the consideration of the guy I was working with.
Years ago, my oldest son and I were touring the plant. There wasn't a plant photographer there, but they pulled Brandon off the line, and he got to torque a wheel on.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, he remembers. He goes, "Hey, I still remember that yellow Corvette that I put
That's
that wheel on."
right.
He still remembers it. So he has that memory, and that's the connection that you talk about.
Yeah.
That's through friends, family, through the car. That is just unmatched with any other vehicle. This car gets it done.
Here's the thing, the thing that I think is maybe the signature of the whole thing is the idea of experience. The experiences you share with your family members.
Yes.
The experience. To me, yes, I am busy, but one of the things that really is important to me, like if I'm working on a really complicated part of a patent or whatever, I can just take the Corvette down, you know, curvy road at 2 or 3 in the morning, lock in, then I come back
2 or 3
in,
in the morning.
and that's
Crazy.
you got to. I mean, you know.
Okay.
So I gotta have a little room to play. So, you know, but it's a lock-in.
Yeah.
And so what it does is it connects you, and then I come back and my mind is sharp again, and I'm all set to go. So what I'm saying is experiences with your family.
Yes.
Experiences that it's a connection in your life when that part of it's going to be good. I mean,
Right.
you could have a complicated day. You go out there and you wash your vet and just polish some things up. You know, you're reconnected. You jump in it,
Right.
go down the road, and then you come back and you're connected. So
Right.
there's a personal connection, there's a family connection, there's an experience that expands, and that whole family's going to
And
remember
when your
these
butt
things
gets in that
forever.
seat, there's a physical connection.
I have a little problem
Yeah.
there because I did race, and you know, and I.
That's what he was saying. He goes, "You know what, Rick?" He goes, "I'm not really into this mid-engine thing." He goes, This is my dream car. This is what I want. I want a front-engine car." He goes, "And I like to come around the corner and put her sideways once in a while."
Well,
And that's okay.
to me, part of the exciting parts of driving on that level is it's just 4-wheel drifts. I mean, basically, it's just a controlled drift coming out of the corner. It's not like sliding it all over the place. It's just
Right.
you're maximizing the car's ability. You're driving at 99% of your ability.
Sure.
And so when you're coming into a curve and you're coming back out of it and you're braking, coming out of it,
Yeah.
you feel it slide, and that's best you're gonna get.
So based on that, you're going to have an absolute blast
Then-
at Spring Mountain.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm already planning. I'm trying to figure out the calendar, you know, and then I can sit there, you know, when they go,
Schedule it and just go.
"What are you doing,
Don't
Donnie?"
do anything else.
And I'll
Just
just
go.
say, "Well, it's all right, man. It's not mine." So I'm gonna push this baby. So
and you know what I was just thinking here. I didn't mean to get off the beaten path. I mean, this has been wonderful conversation. One that I think here on the channel, if you're watching this far into the vlog, I appreciate that. There's no reason to edit this thing. Hit play and go, baby. But you were getting ready to talk about a little bit more in depth into your screenplay.
yeah, the thing that you guys may be interested in, which was actually kind of tragic. My dad was a fighter pilot, P-51 pilot, very talented, world-class athlete, and an amazing artist. He'd worked 20 years. He was a world-class artist. And so anyway, when I was 13, he died, and it was pretty tough. He had an Austin 3000. We used to go out and as a pilot, you know, he'd cut that baby loose. And so the part of the screenplay that's interesting is that I would get out on that road and then I would say, well, God, I haven't accomplished anything. I'm just a kid. But why did you take my dad? I said, why don't you take me? Take me right now. I'm ready. So I'd go into S-curves or negative camber S-curves at 140, 150 miles an hour, sliding all the way across the road to take me. I don't care.
Wow.
So, but see what it did, it showed me that I could go beyond what I thought I could go beyond. And so I got offers to teams to race because I could push it that other 2% where other guys maybe didn't, you know?
Back off.
And so, anyway, I'm here to still living to talk to you about it.
It's neat to,
that's
I know
I
losing
got
your dad was tough.
that's why. Yeah, so see, it meant a lot to me. So that's in the screenplay, and it's kind of interesting if you ever hear about it. It's called Viscosity, when it may come out someday.
Sweet.
So,
That'd be sweet, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah, cool.
This is just awesome. So you don't even, I mean, he was here for the first oil change, and so you really don't have a whole lot of miles on it. I mean, you drove from Bowling Green back to Columbus area and over to here, oil change. So you really don't have a whole lot of seat time in the car. But for the little bit that you have in the car, I mean, what do you think of this 19 Z06?
Well, here's the amazing thing about it, because I'm extremely particular. I mean, I took forever to dial in my Camaros and all that. This baby is put together. The engineering and the feel of the car, because I'm feeling it. So, you know, before I brought it in, I took it down 315.
Okay.
And so when I would just, you know, downshift, scoot it through a curve and juice it a little bit, but keep it in the hours. I know I'm supposed to keep it under 3,500.
You know who built the engine, remember that.
And so the cool thing is you can feel, well, you can feel the engineering. You can feel the balance. You can feel the crispness. And what I like is they didn't back down on the mechanics. And what I mean by that is...
he's got a manual shift, by the way.
Right, and the click and the shift is like, you know, I used to put bronze bearings in my her shifters to make them more responsive, and then, you know, I put Healy coils in the thread structures in my M21. I did everything to be able to make that positive shift experience. Well, this baby clicks and you can hear the mechanics of it. It's not like, you know, slosh, 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 slosh. It's like, it feels great. And so here's the part that I really think is the most important part, is the car is dynamically balanced. It's you know, who cares if it's 10-second quarter mile, in my opinion. What's important to me is you've got that power, but you got the feel in your ass, and the thing stops and the thing curves. You feel
you have confidence. You have confidence in the car.
Yeah. And the only way I had confidence in the car before was when I built my cars. Right. When if I took a buddy's car out, I'd always, oh my God, what if a wheel falls off? What if this guy didn't do this or whatever, you know?
Right.
So, but this baby's put together, and it just feels so sweet. So I can't wait until I get on track.
Oh my gosh! Now you know what else you were able to do at the plant for a brief moment, and it was nice because that is not always part of the protocol. You did have an opportunity to meet the plant manager, Kai
Oh,
Spann.
of course. Yeah, we had.
And how was that?
It was incredible. Well, maybe more. I'm not going to get him in trouble.
No, you're
He was very, very polite.
He tried to be accommodating, and I think let you see a little bit of the plant tour that was a safe zone for you to see.
I didn't know that that's where you were going. Now, number one,
yes, no, that's okay.
He already was briefed, I think, from the performance team leader and the rest of the team. The team was just on this. Lori or Shane must have set this thing up, because every department lead guy, you know, the talk that I had with him, he says, well, I understand about your passion, and I understand this is a really special experience, and this. So he already was briefed.
Good.
And so that, to me, that was a real honor for the team. And team means something to me because I'm finishing my doctorate, and my doctorate's in organizational leadership. So my study is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
That team, that leadership team was on it.
That's
So
good. That's good to hear.
you had the emotional engagement, you had the professional respect, you had the planning for it, there was the communication. It was, if you took a look at the way teams are ideally supposed to work,
Mm-hmm.
that team, that performance team, was really together.
Yeah. I remember years ago, I've lost Dwayne, one of my customers, but you talking about that just reminded me of a comment he said one time, and he toured the plant. This is back some 15, 17 years ago, but Dwayne said, he goes, you know what? He goes, I'm so impressed by those people at Bowling Green Assembly. He goes, they really know what they're doing. He goes, they enjoy their job. He goes, and he was a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, it's enjoyable for me to go and see these people working, loving what they do, and taking it serious. He was just amazed by that.
Exactly. That's
I was amazed by that. God bless you, Dwayne. Miss you, baby. You know, but I mean, that was and you're talking about how the team's working together. Reminded me of that. So I mean, I think that's neat, and it is commendable to the people at the plant.
Well, it is.
They really do a good job. I mean,
And they love what they're doing.
Yeah.
See, you can't if you don't find a place where you love what you're doing and you love your work, then you can't have that kind of passion. So it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, it really is. Great story to get you started.
Well,
with your Corvette. Oh my gosh.
Well, guess who got it started? Guess who got it started?
Happy for you, man. Okay, but this has been a longer vlog than normal, but you can see now why a lot of you on the channel have been so loyal to me. I appreciate you know, just taking the time to really dig in deep and listen to his story and his passion. I think a lot of you can relate to that and appreciate it, and I hope that this was an enjoyable vlog for you, because it was a great honor for me to share his story with you guys and just to sit here and talk to you about it. You know, because Don and I were getting together, and he says, what do you want to do? Hey, I said, nothing. Let's just turn the camera on and let's just talk. And that's what we do on this channel, and it comes from the heart, and it comes from the gut.
Yeah,
and that's the right way to do it, baby. That's the right way to do it.
It's the Corvette way to do it.
Yeah, that's a Corvette way to do it. That's what I'm talking about. You guys thought I was a Corvette freak. I love it, man. I love it.
All right.
Congratulations. Thanks for your business, and thanks for all your support.
That's great.
It really means a lot.
You're gonna jump in on we'll do lunch sometime?
Absolutely.
Flip you up around 3:15?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know where you're at.
Okay.
I'm gonna ride with you?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Because I got news for you. Because I could just see. I'm going to take him up on this because I'll probably film it. Okay, so I'll probably film it, but I can just see it already now. He's like, okay, Rick's coming, and he's going to work hard to try and impress me. Believe me, I will be bowing down, kissing the ground when I get out of that car. Yeah, I'll do that. We'll have to.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's a date.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's a deal.
Thanks, man. You made all this stuff work.
Thanks for the opportunity again.
Yeah, it was
Seriously.
really special.
All right.
See you guys.